the amplitude or vibration of my limbic patterning will start to match the limbic resonance of the brains in the room with me. So it's like our frequencies start to dial in with one another, and that's why, particularly for porous, empathic people, when someone walks into the room in a triggered, agitated state, you start to tend to lift up to that. Similarly, if someone's in the space that's very grounded and speaking from Hara, it's easier for you to start to slow down into the what's called the theta brainwave state. So there's practices and techniques which we'll go through together that helps you tap into Hara and into a helpful limbic resonance, because from a facilitation note, that's an underlying objective, is to ground the space of being in the room, the collective spirit body in the room, so that everybody has a touch point to come back to their baseline of tranquility. So as a facilitator, that's your role. And there are practices and methodologies that we'll go through to help you, but really underneath that, like, it's just an empowerment exercise. We can put the fancy bells and whistles on Shamata and Vipassana and how to properly orient the anatomy of your spine to find kind of an erect meditation posture, but underneath that, it's just an empowerment exercise in reminding your system that you already have the pieces within that know how to connect, that know where to go when shit hits the fan. And so this is honestly just about turning those parts back online, because they tend to get congested in layers of distraction and overwhelm in daily life. That's why we need retreat life to just continuously take off the armor that we built up as what in neurocognition is now called the protector-defender response. Does that make sense? So it's about just remembering our inherent spacious self, and that we always have access to that. And one of the technologies that I've already mentioned that we'll really focus in on this weekend is Shamata meditation. And this is the Buddhist practice of breath awareness. So Shama, S-H-A-M-A, it means calm or peace or tranquility. And ta means to abide or to reside in, to return, to make a dwelling space in the calmness and tranquility of your inner being. And it's the method of mindfulness that's used to pacify the mind. So for those of you that practice Vipassana, the distinction here is that Vipassana is a way to see into the mind. So it's an insight practice where we're not manipulating the mental sphere in any way. We're just passively observing occurrences. Shamatha is like Vipassana with support of manipulation. So we're manipulating our awareness by a single point of focus, which is the breath. So Shamatha is an exclusive practice, meaning we exclude all sensation around us except for the breath. And our one-pointed attention rests on breath awareness, Shamata, calm abidance, residing in the tranquility of simple observation of the breath. So exclusive meditation is Shamata. Inclusive meditation is widening that sphere, where you start to become aware of the breath, but then also aware of the sensation of the sun on your skin and the music in the background and the memory that drifts through the prefrontal cortex in that moment. So as you move away from Shamatha into Vipassana, your sphere of awareness widens so that everything is part of the meditation. And it's an inclusive practice where no matter what's occurring, you bring that with you onto the path of awareness. So that's a quick distinction between the two foundational meditation technologies in Buddhism. And for our time together, we'll focus on Shamata, because it's the most important practice to return to as a baseline.